Lack of brains, lack of effort.
Yeah, they don't do the work. They don't learn. When you walk in the room, when you start a business and you start to talk about somebody, you're never in a vacuum with no competition. Unless you're just extremely lucky. And if there's going to be competition, that means somebody else knows your business as well as you do when you get started. And if you walk into a competitive environment and they still know more about the business than you do and more about your customers, you're going to lose. But most people don't consider that. They don't do the work. They don't learn more about their industry. They don't know even about their business. And so you've got to put in the effort to know more about your industry than anybody else. And that's the brains part, and that's the effort part as well. Because look, if you're competing with me, you better know what you're doing. Otherwise, I'm going to kick your ass. And you're not going to outwork me. And so, the combination is usually what kills businesses early on more than anything.
You could, within a 5-10 minute interview, say this dude's not going to make it as an entrepreneur.
Yeah, I can typically tell, right? I can tell by their passion. I can tell by their focus. I can tell by their preparation. There's a whole realm of things in any business. Here's the business you're in, and here's 1,000 things that influence whether or not you're going to be successful. Through my experience in businesses, I can put myself in his position and say, okay, here are 900 of the 1,000 things he has to be aware of, and then go through and ask. And by how many of those or her issues they've been able to address already, that kind of gives me a sense of how hard they're willing to work. And I can tell by the questions they ask me. So all I have to do is say, okay, what do you want to know? And, when they start saying, what should I do?
They ask you.
Yeah, and that's fine, right? And I want them to ask questions, but, people like to say, the only stupid questions are the ones you don't ask, and that's not right? Because the questions you ask tell whoever more about you than anything else you do. Because in particular, it tells me about your preparation. If you ask me questions about just basic things that you should have known and you should have down to a science, that's going to disqualify you almost more than anything. If you're not always learning, to this minute, if I'm not continuously learning, if I'm not just absorbing as much as I can absorb, someone else is going to kick my ass, right? So you talk about paranoia. The greatest source of your paranoia should be knowledge. If someone else knows more than you do, and if you're not learning, if you don't know how to learn, if you don't have a thirst for learning and acquiring information, you're SOL.
Do you think there needs to be a healthy level of paranoia?
Oh, absolutely.
There needs to be.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I always say, for every one of my businesses, I say, what would I do to kick my own ass? You're right. So whatever business you have, there's somebody trying to put you out of business. There's somebody trying to take a bite out of your business. And it's better for you to figure out how they're going to do it rather than they do it. And so, yeah, that's being paranoid. And so you have to be paranoid. You have to anticipate other people's next moves. And you can't ever, downplay the competition. I was at a business plan competition this morning at a college, and they were kind of being dismissive of the competition. And so you can't ever do that. They're out there trying to take you down, and they're not just going to sit still. And if you're good, really, really good, you're going to inspire them to work even harder, faster, better. And so you have to be, very self-aware of what you're good at and what other people are good at. And, a healthy dose of paranoia makes a big difference. Is very helpful.
Let's transition to a different subject with college. You went to IU, right? Now, you got a lot of people that say, forget about school, drop out of school.
They're idiots.
So you think they're idiots. Tell me why.
If you're going to have and run a business, if you don't understand accounting, you're already behind the 8 ball.
Can't you hire a guy that knows how to run
accounting? But then they still have to communicate to you. Your accountant might tell you you're profitable, but your cash is going down, not understanding a breakdown. And when you don't,
do you think you need college to learn that?
Yeah, I think you do, right? Because it may not, for some people, look, if you're so self-motivated that you can take an online course in accounting and teach yourself everything, you're way ahead of the game anyways. But most people aren't. I don't care if you go to a community college and take accounting and spend $99 for the class. Just, spending the money forces you to be more obligated to do it. But accounting, finance, lesser extent marketing, sales, if the school offers that, these are all that's the language of business. And so while it's possible to teach yourself these things, and while it's possible to hire them, when you're starting your own company, you don't want to have to spend money hiring an accountant. Well, let me take that. If you've gone through all these classes, you probably don't have to hire a lawyer to incorporate, right? You can probably figure out yourself. And so your cost of opening up a business drops. But even more important than all that, that's the blocking and tackling. That's the language of business. You know, the thing I learned at Indiana that was more important than anything else, I learned how to learn. And learning became far more important to me, because the one certainty in business is that it's always going to be changing.
How does one entrepreneur increase the speed in areas that they can increase? There's certain things you can't control.
Speed in what way?
Speed of growing your business.
All right.
So how fast can I grow?
Yeah, I mean, it just depends. You've got to know your own skill set, right? And you've got to know how that fits within your company's life cycle. You know, some companies are slow grind, and you just have to understand that. And you've just got to bide your time until it starts to click, and then grow with it quickly. You know, if you're trying to release a product that needs to be ubiquitous, you've got to go as fast as you can, and then, you know,
release a product.
Yeah,
like a launch.
Yeah, and you know, there's a lot of people who say, you know, perfection is the enemy of profitability, right? And that doesn't mean you have to wait till it's a perfect product. It really just depends on what the product is. That, you know, a barbershop, right? Is it an app? Is it a service? Is it a product? But, you know, the key is looking for the low hanging fruit. What customers are willing to write you a check or commit to it, you know, so that they're willing to integrate it into their daily lives or integrate it into their daily business. And so getting a commitment either through time or revenue is typically what I look for. And so if I can get a commitment, then I'm going to be able to learn. I'm going to see how they use it. Do they sustain usage? And then once I get the next one, you know, hopefully it came a little bit faster than the first one. Then I can ask for referrals, and then the next one, then the next one. And I just try to ramp it up. You know, when I bought the Mavs, we had no season ticket holder base. And so literally it was a matter of just putting a list of former season ticket holders in a white pages back then, you know, on my desk next to my phone, and making phone calls.
You?
Yeah, me. Yeah, because if I'm not going to do it, how can I expect someone else to do it, right? So just get on the phone. Hey, this is Mark Cuban. I'm the new owner of the Dallas Mavericks. You know, I'd like to invite you back for again. It's not, though. This is my business.
We can't get regular sales guys or something to make those calls once they get to a quarter. You're a guy that's a billionaire. You're making those calls.
But that's all, you know, and that's fine and good, right? Because everybody's got their own goals, right? But still, I don't want anybody at the Mavs to be able to say, well, he's not willing to do the work, right? There's, you know, if I walk around, I'm picking up all the papers. I'm not saying go get that picked up. I'm like, okay, that's trash. I'm picking it up. But in terms of speed of growth, it's really, you got to get that first customer first. And then when you get that first, what did you learn? Reiterate, get that next customer. And then hopefully as you learn more and more through the process, then the next one comes by even faster. You know, alluding to it earlier about entrepreneurs being born or built, you know, and I think I knew I was wired to be excited about business. How or why, I don't know. But, you know, and there's certain guys that have the genetics to jump out of the gym, right? There's certain guys, you know, that, you know, when they golf, they have the muscle memory and the discipline. You know, Dirk Nowitzki may not be the most talented guy in the NBA, but his discipline and his focus to do what's necessary to be successful, he's willing to do, and combine it with being 7 feet tall and being skilled, you know, it makes him an amazing basketball player. So it's understanding what your skill set is, finding the right place to use those skills, and then going for it. You know, will that make you 250 grand? It depends if you pick the right industry. You know, I started my first business when I was 12. I was buying and selling baseball cards, buying and selling stamps. Anything I could do to make money, I was hustling and trying to do. So I was into business, but I not so much where it was all my friends were into it with me, so they wouldn't know.
Baseball cards.
Yeah, baseball cards, you name it. I mean, I grew up in Pittsburgh. And so I would, probably even less than 12 years old, I would go out and buy a bunch of baseball cards that I collected. And I would say, okay, you're guaranteed to have a Pittsburgh Pirate in this package. And I would charge 3 times as much. And I'd set up on this park bench down in the park down in Scott Township where I grew up. And I'd have these little sales. And it was great. I made money. And I mean, it was, you know, and I learned as much about business when I was 9, 10, and 12 as I learned any other time.
It's Mardi Gras at Universal Orlando Resort, February 5th through April 24th, featuring amazing live concerts, including Marshmello on March 6th. Click the banner for event details and the Universal Orlando ticket offer.
My freshman year, I don't play a lick. And before I knew it, I lost my mindset again. I began to recalibrate. You know, everybody doesn't play in the NBA. I'll graduate in 4 years. You know, I just go get a good job. It's okay. It's okay. And the end of my freshman year, my daddy called me on the phone. He asked me a question. He said, son, you're not playing. Why not? Politics, Dad. It's political. My father asked me a question. He says, how did your coach get paid, son? I said, Dad, he gets paid to win. He says, okay, son, if your coach gets paid to win, won't he play the players that give him the best chance to win? He said, son, you got recruited. You took all your visits. You chose Minnesota. You took the time. You chose Minnesota. You told me that you're going to turn that program around. You told me you're going to graduate in 4 years. You told me you're going to make more money in business than you did in sports. One of the core values of our training and development called family was accountability. That was a core value of that training and development organization called the Bond Family, accountability. He said, so go back and do what you said you're going to do. My father reminded me of what I said I was going to do. I went back to my coach's office. I said, Coach, what do I need to do to play in the NBA? He looked confused. This is what I told him. I'm going to become somebody different. What do I need to do to play in the NBA? I'm taking this thing to the next level. We're about to rise up. So for you to be passionate, your logic and your emotions need to be intertwined. See, some of you guys have the intellect and some of you guys have the passion, but you have to have both to be successful in this business. Sharks are hunters and predators. They never stop swimming. In fact, if a shark stops swimming, it will die. If a shark goes backwards, it will die. Think like a shark, act like a shark, and behave like a shark. Can I ask you a question right now? Can I ask you a real question? Not your neighbor, I'm talking to you. What kind of student are you right now in life? You're in charge of your promotion. If you do 5 million and want to get to 10, you're in charge. In order for you to rise up, you better take your game to the next level. Your mindset needs to go to the next level. Your information needs to go to the next level. Your relationships need to go to the next level. Take your money and get information and access, and you will get good habits and good rituals, and you will go to the next level. Coach, what do I need to do to play in the NBA? He said, you can't run, you can't jump, you can't dribble, you can't shoot, and you can't rebound, son. Next year, I'll be your most improved player. I'm going to think, I'm going to execute, and I'm going to win. I'm going to think, I'm going to execute, and I'm going to win. I'm going to execute what I've been trained to do. I'm connected to a shark. I'm connected to the greatest training organization in the world. And when I get home, I'm going to become somebody different. What do I need to do? You need to have an honest self-assessment about what your weaknesses are. And that's how you get to the next level. My sophomore year rolls around. We go all the way to the Sweet 16, and I'm the top 6 man in the country. I go back to my coach. What do I need to do to play in the NBA?
All right, guys, we're going to start in 60 seconds. 60 seconds. Help me go into group chats. Help me go into Telegrams, the Discords. Go in your iMessage group chats. Let everybody know that it's Monday. It's the last day of the month, and it's also the start of a great week. So let's make sure that we go out there and put the word in our group chats. We'll literally start in 60 seconds, guys, just giving people a few minutes to get started. On the live, we've been live for 14 minutes. So I usually start at 15 on the dot. So 60 seconds, guys, and we'll get the call started. Let's run it.
The list got shorter. The next year, we went all the way to the Elite Eight. We were one shot away from the Final Four, and I was the top 6 man in the country. I carved out a niche. And that's what impact players do. They make their community better. They make their city better. They make their town better. They make realtors better. Be an impact player, and anyone in your life, if they need a shark, you become their shark. All I had to do was have one good year, and I walked right into the NBA. My senior year, Everything lines up. But the first game of my senior year, I break my foot. I come back in 6 weeks and I break my foot a second time. In my mind, my college career was over and my NBA dreams were dead. I averaged 7 points a game. I got offered a $75,000 job because one of our season ticket holders liked me. Right before I took the job, my daddy called me on the phone. He would always ask the right questions at the right time. He said, "You had a tough year, son. What's next?" I said, "Daddy, I'm going to be a hospital administrator, $75,000 job." He said, "Not bad, son, but can I ask you a question? Do you believe you're an NBA player?" Come on now, Dad. I only having 7 points a game, Dad. We're not like these other black families that just need basketball, Dad. We're educated, Dad. We're not dependent on basketball, Dad. We're balanced, Dad. We're educated, Dad. I got a $75,000 job, Dad. Do you believe, son? He was checking my mindset. He was checking to see, was I thinking like an A student?
All right, guys. Welcome. Grand Rising to Mornings with Nano. I'm so excited, so blessed to be here. Thank you guys all for taking the time to jump on. For those wondering what video was that, it was the shark mindset. The shark mindset. If you look it up, you'll find it right away. If you look up shark mindset, okay. Yes, shark mindset, you'll find it right away. It's one of my favorite videos of all time. He's the man. Let me just tell you guys exactly his name. Shark Mindset by Walter Bond. Shark Mindset. All right, it's the first one. I think he has two different videos, but it's a Shark Mindset. Okay, it's a great video. But type a 3 in the chat box if you had a great weekend. If you had a great weekend, type a 3 in the chat box. Let me see something here. Amazing. Glad all of you guys had a great weekend. Yes. Amazing weekend, a great weekend for us to grow, a great weekend for us to take ourselves to the next level. A weekend where we can come in and just elevate, and which is what it's all about at the end of the day. It's all about elevation. It's all about putting yourself in a position to win, putting yourself in a position to, become a better version of yourself. I know we were out here in Orlando for a leadership summit, guys. We trained for 20 hours in 2 days. We worked from 10 a.m. till 10 p.m. Saturday and Sunday, just literally developing the skill sets of our leaders. Okay, we are preparing our leaders. Remember, like I told you guys, this is the season of development. Okay, I told you guys this is the season of development. So what we've done is we've literally sat there and we've organized ourselves and we've developed the next wave of leaders. Who's still here? Okay, the dust has settled. Okay, it's time for us to find out who the next group of leaders are. All right, and what we've done is we've put ourselves in a position where we brought all the up and coming next wave leaders out to Orlando. And we had about 50, 60 individuals in the room. And what we did is we developed every single leader in there, okay, with all the skills, making them uncomfortable. We're talking about everything from invitation to how to present, to how to speak in public, to, social media, everything. We definitely developed leaders, and leaders left, okay, Orlando, ready to go, ready to run the play. So just know, guys, that, we have a view, like some amazing things happening. People are developed. People now understand what the plan is, okay, which is very important, guys, for a lot of people to understand. And I'm grateful for that. And then one last thing, guys, what is one thing that you guys are grateful for this morning? Can you guys type that in the chat box? What is one thing that you are grateful for this morning? Good looking, my boy. What's one thing that you guys are grateful for this morning? I'm grateful for God. I'm grateful for my health. I'm grateful for my team who's here. in the Airbnb with me. I'm extremely grateful for my mom, my dad, my little brother, my goddaughter, Dariana. I'm grateful for Katie. I'm grateful for Manny for setting up this incredible event here in Orlando. Extremely grateful for this weekend. Grateful for everybody who was at the Orlando, retreat with us here at the boot camp, which was awesome. I'm grateful for my immune system, which is extremely strong. I'm grateful for the brand. I'm grateful for Sana. Grateful for Jasmine. Grateful for the leaders within the organization, the whole leadership dynasty team. You guys know who you are. Extremely grateful for all of you. So really, really looking forward to this. And I'm excited about what it is that, you guys are going to learn today. And let's get right into it. I think we got everybody here. And I think that this is going to be a phenomenal call. So with that being said, let's talk about sharpening your axe. The light here is kind of weird. Should I move over there? Maybe. Let's see. Let me try this. Let me see if this looks better right here. It might be. This is better. Yeah. No sé si va llegando. This is definitely better. 100%. Okay. All right, let's get this call started. All right, so today I wanted to talk about sharpening your axe. Okay, that's what I wanted to talk about today, sharpening your axe. Now, can anybody tell me what do you think your axe represents? Okay. What do you think your axe represents? Can anybody tell me in the chat box, what do you think your axe represents? All right, type it in the chat box if you know what I'm telling you. All right. What do you feel like your axe represents? Okay. Dope, dope, dope. I see your mind, your habits, your skills, your actions, your mindset, your knowledge. Okay. Well, your axe represents your mind. Okay. Your axe represents your mind. All right. And your mind is the most powerful tool that you have in life. Okay. Now, the reason why I wanted to make this call, Sharpen Your Axe, is because I had a really good friend of mine. He says he's going to come. I don't know if he's going to come for sure, but, he shared this story yesterday about, two individuals that had to sharpen their axe. And I'm not going to tell you guys the story yet because if he makes it here, I want him to be the one that shares it with you. But I want you to understand this goes hand in hand with the topic we talked about on Friday, okay, which is the most extraordinary garden, okay? And, something that I want you all to understand is that since your axe is your mind, okay, you got to understand that there's going to have to be things throughout your journey that you're going to have to battle, that you're going to have to cut down in order for you to be able to make it through the journey. Because that's the reason why you sharpen your axe, okay? On your journey to success, on your journey to greatness, on your journey to build a better relationship with your creator, on your journey to build a better relationship with your girlfriend, your boyfriend, okay? On your journey, all right, I need you to understand, all right, that there is going to be obstacles that are always put in your mind, all right? There's always going to be things that are put in your way in order for you to basically stop in your path. Remember, everything is not going to happen exactly as you want it. All right. Everything that you ask for, you're just not going to automatically receive it. Okay. Because like we always teach here on Mornings with Nano, I want you guys to write this down if you never have. Okay. In life, you don't get what you want. You get what you deserve. Okay. In life, you don't get what you want. In life, you get what you deserve. Okay. But I got an even better one. In life, you don't get what you want. In life, you get who you are. Okay. That's important that everybody understands that. All right. Not only do you get what you deserve, but you also only get who you are. All right. So always, always, always look at who you are, and that will be a direct reflection of what you're receiving. Okay. And that's something that I want you guys to really understand when it comes to this journey, all right, of life. Remember, because here on these calls, I know we're all in business. I know that we're all striving to be the best version of ourselves. And, we want to make a lot of money within the businesses that we're in, and we want to elevate our lives. But when I look back now, the best decision I ever made was to sharpen my axe. Okay. I sat there and I sharpened it each and every single day. Now, what I'm going to talk about on this call are the different ways to sharpen your axe. Okay. Especially when you're at the beginning of your journey. All right. Because you see, the problem with most people is that they want to go on the journey, but they haven't sharpened their axe yet. All right. And you're not going to be able to go on a journey with somebody, okay, that hasn't sharpened their axe. All right. Because think about it like this: person A goes on the journey, doesn't sharpen his axe, but person B sharpened her axe, okay, before she went on the journey. And now she's on the journey with a good, sharp axe that can cut down any single obstacle that gets in his or her way. You see the difference? Someone goes on the journey, does not decide to sharpen their axe, and then there's another person on the journey that decided that before they went on the journey, okay, they sharpened that axe so that when trees showed up, that when obstacles showed up, okay, when challenges showed up, boom, ready to go, ready to take it down. And instead of waiting, like the other person is going to have to wait, all right, instead of having to wait to cut down trees, wait to cut down obstacles, wait to cut down things that, show up in their path, all right, this person right here is going to be prepared. Boom, 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 quick cut down, on to the next challenge. Let's continue. Why is that? Because they developed their mindset. Okay, so the first thing, all right, we're going to talk about ways to sharpen your axe today. All right, we're going to talk about ways to sharpen your axe. All right, the first way to sharpen your axe, all right, is you need to do a full audit of your mind. Full audit of your mind. All right, that's the very first way that you can start to sharpen your axe. There needs to be a full audit. Okay, now what do I mean by a full audit? Okay, you need to take a step back. You guys ever heard the saying that you got to take a step back before you can take a step forward? Okay, it's like a rubber band. You got to pull it back before you let it go and it can take off. It's the same thing with your mind. Okay, let's take a step back. All right, why do you think the way that you think? What do you fear? The fears that you have? Where do your doubts come from? Why are you insecure about certain things? Realize your limiting beliefs. All right. There needs to be an understanding as to why you think the way that you think. Why do you think that you can't do certain things? This is key information, right? What are your limiting beliefs? Do you really believe that you can't speak in public? Do you believe that you can make hundreds and thousands of dollars? You know why I know? Because when I started this journey, guys, I'll be 100% honest with you. Okay, me making $100,000 a year was the biggest thing in the world. That was like I made it. But now that I make that money, I noticed that all I was doing was limiting myself. That's not even enough money for us to live the lifestyle that we really want. Okay. I went from wanting $100,000 a year to now wanting $100,000 a month. $100,000 a week is possible because I see people that do it. I've seen people that are from the same places as me that are making $100,000 a week. My personal mentor, okay, no income claims, makes way over $100,000 a week. My personal mentor. And he's from the same area as me, New York City, a week. So my belief for money, my view of money has completely changed. My mind has been expanded. I've seen the checks. Okay. I've seen checks of, $5,000-$6,000 a week. And then I'm looking at his checks and I'm like, wow. So this is possible. This is possible, right? But what I had to understand is that I needed to do a full audit, though. There needed to be a full audit on my mind. Okay, why am I thinking the way that I'm thinking? Why do I speak about myself the way I speak about myself? Because what you got to understand is that some of us, you wouldn't even speak to other people the way that you speak to yourself. You wouldn't even say the things to other people that you say to yourself. The doubts that you tell yourself in your mind, if people would actually hear the things that you tell yourself, people would actually think that you're crazy, and the lack of belief in yourself is unreal. And you guys got to realize that, and you guys got to notice that that's so important. Let me go IG live real quick because I know the family's probably waiting. So it's about understanding that that's so key. Okay, once you understand that, your whole life can change. It can be revolutionized when you understand that there's sometimes a certain amount of things that needs to be changed. That's why I always do evaluations. Okay, weekly evaluations on myself. All right, what am I doing well? Okay, what am I doing well? Nano, you're doing this well. So on, boom, 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 boom. All right, Nano, what are you not doing well? Okay. You see, guys, if you guys let me check you real quick. All right. Let me just check you guys all right now. Right. Type a 1 in the chat box if I have the permission to check you really fast. All right. If I have the permission to check you really fast, just put a 1 in the chat box. Okay. Let me tell you something. If it is Monday, okay, January 31st. All right. Yesterday was Sunday. All right. It's the end of the month, as we can obviously see. I told you guys at the beginning of last week, yo, that's it. This is the last week of January. Today is literally the last day of the month. Month 1 is done, only 11 more to go. If it's going to go by this fast, we're going to be in 2023 in no time. Now, listen to this. All right. If you have not yet sat down, okay, and done an evaluation of yourself for the month of January, then you're not as serious about your goals as you say you are. Listen to that one more time. If you have not sat down and done an evaluation of your month of January before going into the month of February, then you are not as serious about your goals and about your dreams as you say you are. Because think about it. What would Apple do at the end of the month? What would Amazon do? What would all these $1 million companies do? They're going to check their numbers. Okay, how many sales did we have this month? All right. How much money did we make? What was the profit? What was the things we got to pay off? Okay, they're going to check the numbers. They're going to go through the numbers. Where can we improve? What did we do well? What are we going to launch this month coming up? How can we improve our marketing? How can we do this in marketing? So if you're not doing that for you, though, if you didn't do that for you, then guess what? You're not ready for the month of February. You're not ready. Because whatever you did in January, your results in January will repeat in February. And if you got results in January and you plan on getting better results in February, you won't get better results doing the same things all over again. You have to do something different. You have to improve in certain areas for your results to increase. Right? Because type a 2 in the chat box if you feel like you could do more, if you feel like you could get more results, if you feel like there could do more within your business. Okay, you know what that means? There's certain areas in your life that you need to improve on. There's certain areas in your life that you need to let go of. got to understand that that's one of the most important points that I've ever learned in my life is doing self-audits of myself. Because the only way that I can grow is if I know myself. I got to know me. I don't got to know Ricardo. I don't got to know Simone. I don't got to know Zach. I don't got to know IC, Desiree, True. I don't have to know you guys. You need to know you. You need to know yourself. This is what I did. I sat down and I figured out who Nano was. What did Nano fear? What doubts did Nano have? What were Nano's insecurities? What were Nano's limiting beliefs? I would pay attention to what I would say I couldn't do, and I would start doing it. Oh man, I can't speak in public. I can't put my face in front of the camera. I can't talk to people about my business. I can't trade. I can't read. I can't. Everything I would catch myself saying I can't do, I would turn it around and say, you know what? I'm going to do it. I can do it. Everything is so important when it comes to the self-audit. And that's one of the best ways to sharpen your mind. Because the only way that you can sharpen something is if you know that thing, right? You got to know your mind. It's like knowing your product, right? You can't fix something that you don't know. All right. So number one is you got to have a huge self-audit of yourself. All right. And especially I wanted to talk about this because it's the end of the month. All right. This is a perfect day. If you haven't yet done it, then you should do it after this call or sometime today. Sit down with yourself and be like, okay, and be 100% honest with yourself. How did my month of January go? If my month of January was to continue for the rest of the year, will I accomplish what I want to accomplish in 2022? That's the question we all should ask ourselves. If I were to do what I did in January for the rest of the year, will I accomplish what I want to accomplish? And you should be honest with yourself. Okay? I can be honest with you guys. What I want to accomplish is so big that I feel like there's still things that I need to fix within my structure, within my routine. Because yes, I'll manifest things. Yes, I'll get things. But where I want to go, there's definitely things that I need to improve on before I get there. So don't feel bad if you're like, you know what, Nano? You're right, bro. I do need to fix some things in order for me to, I can't continue to have the rest of the year go like this if I want to be successful the way I want to be successful. If I plan on making 7 figures this year, if I plan on making 6 figures this year, I cannot continue to go the way that I did in January. Remember, you're good. You're still good. Okay. It's only 1 month, but you need to make adjustments. You can't do the same thing you did in January and then come and do it in February, because what you're going to do is it's going to compound over to the next month. And all you're doing is compounding those habits, compounding those decisions, and compounding those choices. And eventually it'll catch up to you and then it's over. Okay. So you need to realize what it is. Like, guys, I'm serious. Like, this is one thing that you could do that's more valuable than any training that I could come up here and do, than any book that I can recommend you. This, you sitting down and doing this specific thing that I just told you guys right here is more powerful than any book or any training that I can do right now, because it's going to get you to know you. Okay. You, because I could do a training right now and it might only relate to a few hundred people on the call. But you know what everybody could relate to is evaluating themselves. Let's evaluate the month of January. How did I do with my morning routine? How did I do with, did I listen to more music in January or did I listen to more audios in January? Did I pray every day in January? Okay. Did you pray every day in January? Did you build a closer relationship with your creator in January? In January, we had about what? If we talk about, let's just say by the numbers, I do 5 calls a week, 4 weeks. So that means I do about 20 calls. Okay. Out of the 20 calls that I did on Mornings with Nano, how many of them were you on? Just for an example, were you on only 5 of the calls, or were you on 16, 17, 18 of the calls? Or did you jump on each and every single call? Maybe that's an area in your life that you need to improve on. Maybe you need to be on more Mornings with Nano calls. Okay. You got to be able to check yourself on this stuff. How many books did you read in the month of January? I read 1 book. Did you read a book in January? Did you finish audios in January? How many times did you meditate in January? How many times did you visualize your goals in January? How many times did you sit down and write down your goals intentionally in January? This is a quick checkup so you know what's going on. So you understand, like, that attitude is not going to get you anywhere in 2022. You won't make it anywhere. I'm telling you. It won't work. You won't make it. You can't put yourself up against the best if you're not working like the best. There's some of you on this call right now, and I know this is going to hurt some of you guys, but there's some of you guys that listen to more music this month than you did audios. For a fact. You listen to more music than you do listen to audios. And I love music. But guess what I do? I also love the audios. Okay? And that's something that you guys have to understand. You got to understand that. You have to sharpen your axe every single day. Have you put yourself in a position, all right, to understand the importance of your mind. Understand the importance of what it is that's going on. So have a self-audit of yourself and be honest with yourself. Okay, what areas in your life do you need to develop? What areas in your life do you need to grow in? Okay, because this is the key. This is what's helped me. These conversations that I'm having with you guys, I usually have these conversations by myself with my journal in front of me. You know what I call it? I call it Real Talks with Nano on my journal. I wish I had my journal with me right now so I can read some of you guys, the real talks that I have with myself. I have real talks with myself. Something that I know that nobody else is going to read. Like, I could just talk to myself. Really real. Yo, Nano, real shit, bro. You slacking off. You didn't wake up at the times that you said you were going to wake up at. Okay, you said you were going to go to the gym, but you didn't go to the gym. That's BS, bro. That's unacceptable, Nano. Like, it's like I'm talking to myself like if I was my own coach. Yo, that's unacceptable. That's unacceptable. You want to get your body right, but you're not going to the gym. You said you want to improve your health, but you're ordering out food every night. You said you want to grow your mind. You said you want to elevate yourself, but you're spending more time with your friends than you are with your mentors. You say you want your business to grow, but you spend more time on Instagram than spending time talking to prospects. Okay. You're investing more money into weed than you are into books. You know, you sit down and you have a real conversation with yourself. And those conversations that I've had with myself have brought me the biggest breakthroughs. The real talks with myself. Those are conversations that you have with you. Right there, you checking yourself. Be honest. And those are the conversations that have changed everything for me. Those specific conversations have changed everything for me. Because I realized, I'm like, yo, Nano, you're really not doing what you said you were going to do. And I want you guys to understand that. Please, it'll change your life if you allow it to. Okay? It'll change your life if you allow it to. Okay? My boy just got here. I didn't even share the story because I wanted you to share it. I'm gonna let him share this story with you guys really quick because this story is very powerful. Okay? My boy, he's actually from Miami. I met him about a year ago. He joined my business. You know, he's the plug in Miami. This is somebody that can, help you get yachts. He can help you get jet skis, rental cars, Airbnbs. Like when we talk about, somebody that is extremely successful at what he does, this is him right here. And, he's a part of our business. He's a leader within the organization. He's somebody that always is extremely supportive of what it is that we do. We from Miami, but every time we come up to Orlando, he always just seems to be here. He's super tapped in spiritually. He understands the laws of the universe. He understands how things are governed. And yesterday we were sitting here and he was telling the story, and I'm like, yo, that story is fire, bro. Like, honestly, I'm gonna share that on Mornings with Nano tomorrow. Like, I'm gonna base my whole entire call based off of that story because everybody needs to hear that. He was like, yo, I want to share. Let me share. And I'm like, yeah, no problem. And I wake up this morning, he's not here. I'm like, yo, tell me the story so I can share it with the squad on Mornings with Nano, because I couldn't remember off the top of the head. He was like, nah, bro, I'm going to go share it. So I'm going to let him come up here and share it real quick. It's a quick story, but there's a lot of value behind this. So if you guys are excited, put some fire emojis in the chat box for my brother right here. I'm going to let him come up here and share real quick. So without further ado, my brother, Leo Romero, VIP, take it away, my boy. Tell the family the story.
Well, what's going on, everybody? Good morning. Let's get up for Nano for that amazing introduction. So I'm gonna be quick here because I don't want to take too much time from his live and his Mornings with Nano. My name is Leo Romeo. I'm 29 years old, and the story that I'm about to tell you guys is basically what changed my whole entire life within the network marketing industry and then just the business itself. When I was in the network marketing starting off, I didn't have much money. So I heard a quote, and it was, put your wallet into your mind, and your mind will fill up your wallet. So when I heard that quote, most people will make excuses on going to trainings, on buying a book, on anything like that. So I just literally took that quote and I literally looked at it and I was like, okay, I'll take my wallet, which is the money that you have, whatever money you did have at that time, you pour it into your mind, which is going to training events, reading books, going to seminars, buying audios, whatever you have to do in order to pour into yourself, right? And then your wallet will fill up your mind. So when I heard this, I heard it, I think it was like 2 weeks before a training event. And I didn't have the money. I didn't have no money. So I basically scrambled whatever I could because of that quote. And I ended up going to this event, which was in Texas. I didn't have the money for the ticket. I didn't have the money for the flight. I did not have the money for the hotel, right? So whatever I did, I made sure I just got there. Snuck into the event, right? And I saw this character in this event that changed my entire life forever. And from this point on, I never been the same before, right? So this character is a character of a lumberjack. This lumberjack, very skinny guy with a golden axe, right? You guys are going to understand why it's a golden axe. He moves from out of town with his wife, and he goes up to these lumberjacks. Hey, guys, I know how to cut trees very well. Can you please give me a job? But the problem is he was skinnier than everybody else. So they tried him like if he didn't know how to cut trees, if he wasn't strong enough. So they laughed at him. He's like, listen, guys, this is what I do for a living. I'm a master at cutting trees. They're like, bro, you can't even pick up your axe right. We're not going to hire you. So he noticed a guy in the back. His name was Pierre. Pierre is the biggest and the strongest and the most powerful and the most nobody's going to beat me guy, right? We all know somebody like that in his business. So the guy's like, okay, look, I bet you guys I could cut more trees than Pierre. They're like, you could cut more trees than the bigger guy? Nobody could cut more trees than him. He's the biggest and the strongest and the fastest. He's like, I promise you, I could cut more trees than him. As a matter of fact, if I cut more trees than him, would you then hire me? They looked at him crazy, but then they kind of believed him because he was so persistent. So they said, you have 6 hours to cut trees. You and Pierre. Pierre, again, he's the strongest and the fastest, the most competitive. So he was not, in his mind, not going to lose. So with maximum capacity, he goes out there and he cuts down 93 trees. He went so hard that after he was done, they had to put his arms in IV units and ice, right? The young, skinny kid, he cuts down 94 trees. One more tree than Pierre. Now, everybody's like, whoa, how did he beat me? Pierre's like, no way. Beginner's luck. We got to do it again. There's no way you beat me. I'm the best and I'm the strongest. No way. So the next day, they're like, okay, cool. We're going to let you guys go again. You guys got 6 hours to cut trees. But because Pierre doesn't like to lose, he decided to cheat. So he gets there 2 hours early, right? And he starts cutting trees. leaves 2 hours late, and keeps cutting trees. When maximum capacity, he cuts down 103 trees. The puny guy, skinny guy, gets there 2 hours late, leaves 2 hours early, and cuts down 104 trees. Whoa, he beat him again. Everybody's like, no way. And Pierre's like, there's no way. He has to be cheating. So what we're going to do is we're going to follow him home to see what he does. All his friends coming out the bushes, helping him cut trees in the woods. There's no way he beat me, Pierre says. So they follow the kid home. The kid holds his axe like he precision carries his guitar with passion. So they follow him home. He puts his axe down. He goes inside. He plays with his family. He eats. He comes back outside with his axe to get his axe. He goes into this room in the back, storage. So they're looking at this guy like, whoa, he didn't cheat. He doesn't have no friends coming out the bushes or the forest to help him out. So what is the guy got going on? So he opens the storage room and he does something that most people don't like doing. He does something that most people make excuses on doing. He started sharpening his axe. See, if they give you 6 hours to cut down trees, right? You don't spend 6 hours cutting down trees. You don't spend 6 hours trying to sign people up. You don't spend 6 hours trying to recruit people. You spend 6 hours trying to do the right thing. 4 out of those 6 hours, you have to sharpen your axe, aka you have to read, you have to get on Mornings with Nano, you have to go to the seminar, you have to go to West Palm Beach, you have to go to every single event to sharpen your axe, because once the trees come to you, which is the obstacles that you have in life, you're going to be able to cut them faster than the person that doesn't have a sharpened axe, right? The person that doesn't have a sharpened axe is going to have to hit that tree at least 10 times for it to fall down. The person that has a sharp axe, right, is only going to have to hit it one time, and it's going to slice and it's going to go down. So moral of the story, guys, before I finish is you have to sharpen your axe. You have to focus on sharpening your mind. So your wallet, put your wallet into your mind, and your mind will fill up your wallet. All right, thank you, guys, and have a great day. God bless you guys.
Let's go. That was fire. That was litty. Yo, guys, how fire was that? Somebody was like, you are him. Yo, I told you guys that story was way too fire. And I still don't know it off the top. It was such a good story. You know what I'm saying? But he told that story here yesterday. And, yesterday we were just all here in the living room. And he tells that story. And I'm like, yo, oh, my God. That is so true. That makes so much sense. And the reason why it's such a powerful story is because you can remember it because of the story. Right? There was 900 people on this right now, bro. Almost 1,000 people. So, this is something that, you guys, and you guys could follow him on Instagram, Miami VIP.
MIA VIP.
Yeah, MIA VIP. MIA VIP. That's his Instagram, at MIA VIP. Yes, Leo does have IG. Like I said, guys, he's the plug for everything in Miami. So you guys ever come to Miami, you live in Miami, you need a yacht. You need car rentals. You need Airbnbs. You need jet skis. You need anything. Leo can get you whatever you need out here. He's that guy out here. All right. He's that guy that all the celebrities go to. He's the guy that all the top guys out here in Miami go to. He's your guy. Okay. So if you guys need anything, trust me, he's the best. You guys let him know. You guys come through Mornings with Nano. He'll give you guys good family prices. And you guys will always be well taken care of, all right, guys? But just to follow up and just to finish up the story, okay, you have to sharpen your mind, okay? You have to sharpen it because, like I said, and like he said, right, there's going to be trees, there's going to be obstacles in this journey of life that if you're not ready for, you're going to sit there and try to cut down these trees for hours, while someone who sharpened their axe is only going to hit that tree once, is going to get cut, and they're going to be ready to move on to the next obstacle, the next play. So you got to remember this stuff. This is so important. All right. This is one of the things that I understood, and it makes so much sense as to why I've overpassed some people, right? There were some people that I started with at the same time. All right. There were some people that, I started with that are no longer here. And it all makes sense now. It was because I always worked on my mind more than everybody else. It wasn't because I prospected more than everybody else. It wasn't because I was the best trader. It wasn't because I was the best investor. It wasn't because of any of that. It was all because I was just more mentally prepared than everybody, because we're all on the journey right now. And since I was always prepared, and since I was always the one in the back sharpening my axe, right? And you know what's funny? People would make fun of me for that. Oh, Nano's all this motivation and all this reading stuff, all this meditation. People would make fun of me. Like, think about that. Like, think about the fact people would make fun of me for wanting to do this, and the people that would make fun of me are not even here anymore. They didn't even make it through the storms. You know why? Because while they were there thinking that they were outworking me and thinking that they were doing more than me, guess what? I was sharpening my axe in the house, praying on my knees, thanking God. And guess what? When they faced challenges, those trees that they faced, they weren't strong enough. Their axe wasn't sharp enough in order for them to make it through those obstacles, and they quit. But Nano, since he was sharpening his axe at home, okay, when those obstacles came, oh, tree in the way, great. Boom, on to the next. Tree in the way, great. Boom, on to the next. Because my axe was sharper at all times. I worked on my mind every single day. Every single day I worked on my mind, and that's what you guys got to see, and that's what I want you all thank you, to understand. You have to understand that is so important. So important. And the reason why I love that story is because it's something that you guys all go through on a day-to-day. And remember, thank you guys so much. And in this game of life and business, okay, the one with the sharpest axe is the one that's going to make it to the journey, the one that's going to make it to the end. It's the only one. Okay, can you make it with an unsharp axe? Absolutely, but it's going to take you a lot longer, and it's going to be a lot harder and a lot more challenging. But it's so funny because right now within the platform, within the business, there's a lot of people going through a lot. But me, I'm the calmest I've ever been. Usually what is happening, okay, what has happened over the last few months, it would have stressed me out. It would have made me frustrated. I would have been in my head a lot. But because I've sharpened my axe so much, I'm the calmest, the most at peace that I've ever been in my whole entire life. I've never been at more peace right now than I've ever been. At complete peace, complete solitude, like just no stress, no overwhelmness, no nothing. Why? Because I sharpened my axe. And those that didn't jump on Mornings with Nano are not here. Those that didn't read the books are not here. Those that didn't meditate are not here. Those that didn't write their goals down, that didn't listen to the audios, that rather listen to music, those that didn't stay disciplined on what I told them to do, those people are not here. And it's funny how the ones that did do it are the ones that are still here. I was having a great conversation with, a female leader of mine. Her name is Jennifer. She's right here in front of me, 18 years old. But bro, she knows just as much as I do already. And she told me, she was like, Nano, she was like, yo, you know what's the difference between me and a lot of people is that I took the time to prepare before I go out there and run this journey. I took the time to learn the skill sets. I read the books. I listened to the audios. I jumped on Mornings with Nano every single day for months and months and months at a time. And then when it was my turn to run, I was ready to run. I was ready to do whatever it took because I prepared myself. She sharpened her axe while everybody else was running the play and making money and doing this and doing that. And now they're not here anymore. Guess what? She sat there. She sharpened her axe. She jumped on Mornings with Nano every day. She did the meditation. She read the books. She listened to the audios. And guess what? She's still here at 18 years old. And people who were 21, 25, 28 years old, 30 years old that were talking all this blah, 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 blah. I'm going chairman. I'm going to make 6 figures. Those people are not here anymore. And an 18-year-old that sat at home and sharpened her axe is still here running the play with me. That's life right there. Sharpen your axe. That is the message of today. If you haven't been sharpening your axe, that's the reason why you haven't been able to defeat the obstacles that life has thrown at you. The reason why you've been going through things, okay, think about it like this. The reason if you're still going through the same problems a whole month later is because your axe wasn't sharp enough to get through it. If your axe was sharp enough, you wouldn't even be going through the same problems over and over and over again. But your mind hasn't been able to develop itself yet. You're still taking your life for granted. You're still taking your business for granted. You still haven't read a book and it's 31 days into the new year. You still haven't sat down and finished the whole audio and understood it verbatim and it's 31 days into the year. You've only wrote your goals down a few times this year, but you want to be successful. It's not going to work. You're not going to beat somebody like me. You're not going to beat somebody like Leo. You're not going to beat somebody like Jennifer that sit at home for hours and hours and hours of the day sharpening our axe. And then when life comes, when obstacles comes, it's just one swing and we're gone and we're continuing on to the next while you're stuck with an unsharpened axe trying to knock down a bunch of trees that you're not going to be able to knock down. And that's why you stay stuck for so long in certain areas of your life, is because you don't have this right here. And does that go for trading? Yes, it goes for all areas of your life. It goes in for trading, for your business, for your team. It goes for social media, for your family, for your relationship, in all areas of your life, okay? So can everybody type in the chat box, sharpen your mind? Type that in the chat box. Sharpen your mind. That's all I want you guys to start doing, is sharpen that mind. And I know you guys have heard this before. We talk about this all the time. On Mornings with Nano, we always talk about developing a better mindset. But the thing is that maybe now it hits a little different because it was told in a story. Like, honestly, guys, I know that I got to sharpen my mind for the challenges. I get it, right? But the way he told the story, it sold me on it a lot easier. It was like a lot easier for me to comprehend it because it was told in a story. Sometimes when you tell somebody something through instruction, it doesn't hit the same. That's why they say the facts tell, but the stories sell. So I know the facts that, hey, I got to develop a stronger mindset for the challenges and for the obstacles. But the fact that he was put it into a story with the lumberjack and how, that one kid was weaker and was skinnier than the big guy, but because he would spend, instead of the guy who spent 6 hours cutting trees, he spent 4 hours sharpening his axe and only 2 hours cutting down trees. And that's why he always won, because his axe was always sharper. And guess what? He was working smarter and not harder. So when you guys hear me that I wake up at 6 a.m. and I work on myself from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. up until Mornings with Nano, you know what I'm doing? I'm sharpening my mind for the day. Not just for the week, not just for the month, or not just for the year. You know what I do? I'm sharpening my axe for the day. Because every day is a challenge. Think about that. Every day you have to cut down a tree. Every day there's a tree you got to cut down. Are you ready? Is your axe sharp enough to cut down that tree today? Or are you still going to be trying to cut down that tree at the end of the week because your axe isn't sharp? That's the real question that you really got to ask yourself. Is that simple. Are you ready to cut down the tree that's going to show up in your life later on today? Or are you, all right, going to understand this, wake up tomorrow and be like, you know what, Nano, you're right. I wasn't even ready to wake up today and knock down this tree. I wasn't even ready to knock down this tree. Okay, but now I'm ready. Now I'm going to sharpen my axe. Now I'm going to take myself to the next level. All right, fam. So with that being said, that wraps up today's call. We actually got to check out of this Airbnb. Checkout time was 10 a.m. But can we put some fire emojis in the chat box? Like this video. Put some 333s in the chat box. Remember, guys, show some love to my brother, Leo as well. Miami VIP, MIA VIP. Show him love. Like I said, he's the plug. Whatever you need out here in Miami, he can get it for you. Anything. Cars, rentals, yachts, boats. You want to get into the club, you need somebody, He knows everybody. All right, fam. So like this video if you got value from it. Like this video if you're going to sharpen your axe. Like this video if you're ready. I want all of us to commit. Listen to me. I want all of us to commit. And all of February, I want you all to commit to, yo, Nano, I haven't been sharpening my axe every day. But now, from now on, before every call, I want us all to show up with sharpened axe. By the time you get to mornings with Nano, I want everybody to be like, Nano, my axe is sharp. I'm ready to attack the day, bro. Just give me the motivation to go out there and attack the day. Because remember, guys, think about it like this. Okay, when you jump on mornings with Nano, think of mornings with Nano as the group huddle. All right, guys. Jen, Gio, Leo, right? Everybody, G Hundo, Jennifer, all right. Everybody got their axe sharpened. All right, everybody got it. All right, this is the goal for today. Boom, 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 boom. And let's go and run. All right. Because now when we all, think about it. Think about mornings with Nano as the team huddle. We're coming up to check. All right, Leo, you got your axe sharp? Cool. Jen, you got it. Val, you got it. Jose, you got it. G Hundo, you got it. Okay, perfect. All right, this is the goal for today. Our goal is to boom, 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 boom. And then we go and attack our day. That's what mornings with Nano is, the huddle. But you can't come to the huddle if you haven't sharpened your axe. Because if you haven't sharpened your axe, guess what? You're going to be the one that holds us back this day. All right, fam. So I appreciate all of you guys. I love you guys so, so much. Thank you guys for, taking the time to jump on today's call. I'm going to do a quick prayer for us, and then we're going to go. All right, fam. So everybody bow your heads and let's pray. Father God, thank you so much for waking us up on another beautiful Monday morning. We are so thankful to be able to live another day of life and be able to walk in our purpose. We invite you to this moment, God, for just blessing us with this beautiful lesson that, you spoke through Leo, through us today. Continue to bless Leo with more wisdom, more blessings, more health, more everything, because he was able to, just come in here and provide this incredible lesson for all of us about sharpening our axes. And we learned that lesson through him, but I know that it came through you, God. And we will promise you, God, that moving forward, we will sharpen this axe. We need to sharpen this axe because in order for us to break down and get through the challenges and obstacles that life throws at us, we need to have a sharp mind. And I love how you introduced it to us in the way of a story, and we are so thankful for it. And for everybody who's on this call, we pray that everybody here is healthy. We pray that everybody here is guided and is headed in the right direction in their life and is ready to do whatever it takes to be successful, because that's what life is all about. We are excited for a whole week of abundance, blessings, breakthroughs, alignment, and we just thank you ahead of time for everything that you're going to be doing in closed doors behind things that we don't even see, God. So thank you so much for this amazing week that we're about to have. Thank you so much for the blessings. Thank you so much for the abundance that we're about to experience. We love you. We appreciate you. In your name we pray. Amen. Amen, amen, amen. All right. So with that being said, fam, like this video if you haven't. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't. All right. And remember, podcast is out. Lock in with everything that we have with the podcast and everything that's going on here. But with that being said, I love you all. Appreciate you all. And I'll see you guys back here tomorrow for another episode of Mornings with Nano. God bless.